taking a look at AMC stock, we have this downward trend resistance line dating back since June of 2021. When it went up, it got knocked down, went up and got knocked down. Yes, a false breakout right here, but then even after the fact, it went up and it got knocked down after that. So definitely a downward trend resistance line. Was looking to go up to it and break through it, and we did, and then ended up bouncing off as support. Now the question is it going to reverse back up to the upside right now? What price points does it need to pass in terms of resistance levels? So what price points will be difficult to pass, and what will be hypothetically potentially going up to the new high? What are the short positions, and what are the support levels that we could bounce off of? So in terms of short positions, or actually quick disclaimer before I continue, like always, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion, it is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. And if you like the video, consider dropping a like. It does help out the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you like videos like this or other financial videos that I'm posting in the future, consider subscribing so you be notified when I do upload those videos. Now looking at AMC stock statistics, going to short positions, you can see that floated shares and outstanding shares are represented pretty close, relatively the same at 18% as of August 13th, 2021, which is pretty good, because to be considered extremely shorted, you have to be above 20%. But as you're aware, most likely, for example, based off CNBC News and all that stuff, naked shorted shares are potentially being occurring in some stocks, and potentially could be happening for AMC stock. And if that's the case, it could push it above it 20%, which put it in extremely shorted territory, which is beneficial when it comes to short squeeze and all that stuff. Now the question is, let's just say first of all, the first scenario, that it bounces up to the upside, bounces off this downward trend resistance line as support like we did earlier. Then if that's the case, what price points are going to cause the issues to pass? The first horizontal price point resistance level is at the $50 price point, but more significantly at the $60 price point, which is, it's essentially at the $59, almost $60 price point, but because it intertwines with the clean psychological numbers of the $60, for example, that's a clean number, then that's more prevalent as well. So you can see right here, basically $59 and something cents, essentially $60, goes up, gets knocked down, goes up and gets knocked down. So you got a total of 3 times there. A little bit right there, but yes, a false breakout, but then after the fact, it got knocked down, and you could see it got knocked down before it got knocked down by this downward trend resistance line for this incident right here, and then this incident got knocked down, but it's debatable if it got knocked down, whether the downward trend resistance line or the horizontal resistance line, but it was basically like a double whammy, I guess. Now, if it were to come down, because the question is it going to go up to the upside or is it going to come down? For the time being, it's going to drop a little bit. I'm going to explain why it is essentially going to go up to the upside first, and I'll explain why it's going to come down just shortly temporarily. So in terms of the grand scheme of things, so are we going to have essentially another run up? First of all, yes, because how heavily shorted it is, potentially extremely shorted if you count for naked shorted shares. But if you're looking at the 5-year graph, right here is the MACD line. This indicates if it's a bearish or bullish movement. It is in the negative right now. It is bearish, but you could see it's curving up a little bit. The bars are going from a solid red to a light shade of red and becoming smaller, potentially crossing over to positive, becoming a bullish momentum, or crossing over to a positive, being a bullish momentum, bullish movement, so indicating a bullish run up kind of stuff. So you could almost see it, the overall upward trajectory, where right now it's going to be continuing to the upside once it crosses over. Now, is it guaranteed it'll cross over? No, it's not a guarantee. What could happen is it could curve up and then just start curving down for more downside potentially. I just don't see that happening given how shorted the stock is. Now, if you go back to the 3-month chart right here, the downfall is there's potentially a little bit more of a downside, because if you look right here, this MACD line for the 3-month movement, for the 3-month movement, it is in the bearish movement, it is in the negative, so it's not optimistic, and it hypothetically just got started. So because of that, there's potentially a little bit more downside. Now the question is, how low will it go in terms of entry position? If you wanted to go to like the specifics, I guess, you could probably drop down to the $42 price point, because you can see right here twice, it dropped down to $42, give or take, $42 range. The only downfall is this broke through it, so it's kind of debatable. I'm expecting to personally drop if you want, because you would want to enter for the worst case scenario. I would say enter anywhere from between the range of $38 all the way down to $35. I don't know if it'll drop that low. Just it depends basically. The only thing is though, you want to enter the safest entry point, and I would say the safest entry point is this support level, horizontal support level, which is around $35, $36, And I would say if you wanted to make sure you get in, at least enter in the $36 price point if you're anxious and don't want to miss out on the bounce up. But I would say anywhere between here with these moving averages and this support level, $35, $36. This moving average is $37. This moving average is $38, $39. And this one is $35 as well. So $35 to $40 are good. If you want to go off these support levels, then you're looking at somewhere between $42. And it'll probably potentially bounce off that. But if you go with the 1 month chart, I believe the moving averages, so the moving averages for the 1 month chart is $42 and some cents, $38, $39, and we got the $36, $37. So I'm expecting a bounce at those price points. And if you look at the 1 month chart, it looks like at one point it's going to continue a little bit going down, but then bounce off at one point there. So I think relatively soon it'll bounce back up. It could reverse the next few days, but the problem is on Friday, the markets, in terms of the Fed, will have a meeting. So the markets might have a little bit of pullback, which AMC doesn't necessarily have to react to that and doesn't have to necessarily come down with the markets as well, because it's how heavily shorted it is and how, like, in a way, not really connected to the market it is. But it could also be pulled back with the market just a little bit, right? So there's that. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like. It does help with the channel, so thank you so much for that. If you like videos like this, if you like videos like this or other financial videos, other stock videos, consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I do upload those videos. And see you in the next video. Thanks again for awesome support, and peace.